Hey everyone, and welcome to Post to Post. Thank you so much for joining me for this video. I really appreciate it, and I hope you're having a good day. Today, I'm going to look at the 5 things that I like about the Toronto Maple Leafs. Now, as a Canadiens fan, the video is tough to make. The previous one was about the Boston Bruins. If you haven't seen it, I'd love for you to go check it out. It's on the channel. But the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Montreal Canadiens have always had a bit of a relationship. As a Canadiens fan, a lifelong Canadiens fan, because of that, I've always had a bit of a relationship with the Toronto Maple Leafs. Not necessarily a positive one, obviously, more negative than positive since they are my rival. That doesn't mean that there's not things I don't like about the Toronto Maple Leafs. In fact, I've come to like quite a bit of things about the Toronto Maple Leafs, and I'm going to tell you what those are right now. Number 1, the colors. Yeah, the colors. It's just an easy one for me. I love blue. It's my favorite color. Blue looks good with white. They complement each other very well. It looks good on the ice. The logo is awesome with the blue and whites. It's just a fantastic color combination. It's probably a cop-out to choose the colors. And some of these are going to be simple, and some of these are going to be a little bit more serious. This is just a fun one. I like the colors. Number 2, nationality. So what do I mean by nationality? Well, I'm Canadian. Toronto is the biggest city in Canada. They have the biggest hockey market in Canada when it comes to a media perspective. If you turn on the TV and watch SportsCenter or TSN, it's Toronto, Maple Leafs, yada, yada, yada. It gets really frustrating. In fact, it's to the point where I don't even watch those programs anymore because there's so much Maple Leaf talk. But you have to appreciate the drive and focus of the center of our nation in Toronto. They love hockey. They live and breathe it, and so much so that it's impacted the analysts in the city to where they can barely talk about other teams in the league. It's something that I dislike from a media perspective, but from a fan perspective, if you live in that city, you must appreciate that so much to have the entire city and surrounding areas just be engulfed in Canada and the Maple Leafs, and Toronto does a great job at that. And man, I appreciate the Canadian feel and love for hockey in Toronto. Number 3, the city and facilities. Back in 2012, I had the opportunity to work in Mississauga, and because of that, I went into Toronto a couple of days and got to tour the Air Canada Centre, as it was then. Now it's Scotiabank Arena, but it was a fantastic tour. I really enjoyed it, and I got to see most of the facilities that the teams use there, including the Toronto Raptors. I got to go into their actual training facility where they have all their workout machines, and they had like a reflex thing where they could kind of test the reflexes and stuff. It was really cool, but it just goes to show you that a team that's that wealthy, they invest a lot in their facilities, in the arena and in the training facility and the practice arena and all that stuff. I really appreciate that. And the city of Toronto in general is a beautiful city. If you haven't been, I hope you can get a chance to go sometime. They have so many amazing things there, and not just hockey related. Yeah, they have the Scotiabank Arena. They have the Hockey Hall of Fame, which is an absolute must-see if you're a hockey fan. But they have other things like the CN Tower, and just a short drive away, there's Niagara Falls. It's just an amazing part of this country. I love Toronto as the city, and I love the attention that the ownership and the team puts into making it so the players and the staff have every tool at their availability at any time. I really appreciate that. Number 4, the goalies. Okay, so I'm not just talking about current goalies. I'm talking about a lifetime of goalies that I've had the chance to watch as a hockey fan myself. I'm talking about goalies like Ed Belfour, Felix Potvin. I freaking love Felix Potvin. The Cat. Man, what an amazing, exciting goalie to watch back in the day. I even like when Vesa Toskala came in. Man, I really like Vesa Toskala. Curtis Joseph. There's a lot of goalies on Toronto that I always wished, as a Canadiens fan, man, I wish we had him. I wish we had him. After Patrick Waugh left Montreal, there was a bit of a goaltending bore, I guess, for so many years until Carey Price came in. So I really always appreciated the goalies from the Toronto Maple Leafs, even though I didn't really like the team that much. Number 5, the history. There is no denying that the Toronto Maple Leafs have some of the richest and most interesting hockey history in all of the NHL. We're talking an original 6 team here. They've been with the NHL from the beginning. We're on 100 plus years of hockey now. We're not just talking about just like the past 50 years. We're talking way back, generations of players, generations of fans, coaches, everything. This team has birthed a religion in that area of Canada and the rest of North America. There are Toronto fans in Arizona, not because of Austin Matthews. There are Toronto fans in Australia. Like it has such a rich history that it's spread its wings throughout the world, the hockey world, and everybody knows the name, the Toronto Maple Leafs. Basically, they have won an incredible amount of Stanley Cups. Luckily, not more than Montreal. At least it's one of the only things I can say about positive about Montreal. It's the only thing that we can cling to as Habs fans, that we have more cups than anyone else. But the Toronto Maple Leafs are filled with such great history. It's a shame that in certain years they didn't go a little bit further, like the 1993 playoffs when they almost made it to the finals. What could have happened if they did? They might have had a cup that year. Who knows? I just really appreciate the Toronto Maple Leafs history, regardless if I cheer for them or not. Okay, so that wraps up my entire list. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. I'm going to do this for every team. I'm going to pick 5 things that I like about every single team around the NHL. I've already done Boston. Now I've done Toronto. That means I've got 29 other teams to do. I have all of the lists made. I just need to film the videos. So if you could come and stick around, subscribe down below, and join me for these videos, I really appreciate it. There's something you can find in every single team that you like, even if you don't necessarily cheer for the team. So thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it, and we will see you in the next video. Adios.